Brian from Placebo. Brian, how are you going, sir?
Not bad, thank you. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Where have we caught you at the moment?
You've got me in London.
Oh.
And you really got me.
You had me from hello. What's going down in London?
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. The charm's still working.
What's going down in London at the moment with Placebo?
We're getting our stuff together to come over to Oz.
Now, why are you coming back? You're in Australia just like, less than a year ago for Splendour in the Grass. Why back so soon?
Well, this is going to be our biggest tour so far. We're playing the same places that we played with Silverchair opening for them in '98. So it's our biggest tour so far, and sure we came for Splendour in the Grass and stuff like that, but this is comprehensive this time around,
So when we're talking,
the record's been really well received. We're really happy, and we love leaving rainy London for sunny Australia, during the British winter. Who wouldn't?
When we're talking Placebo 2004 coming back again, are you fitter? Are you stronger? Are you faster? How are you compared to the Placebo we saw just a while ago?
I may not be any of those, but I'm definitely harder.
Sure.
Good.
There's a promise.
And
that's a promise, mate.
When you say it's nice to come out in the sun, I'm not sure that people always look at Placebo and think, yeah, there's a band who are looking to travel the world catching, some major rays. Are you an outdoor type, Brian?
Well, I don't really go for hiking or off-roading or anything, that's too strenuous, but I love lazing, by the pool, in the sun, or by the beach with a pina colada in hand, and a jazz cigarette in the other.
Those cheeky little jazz cigarettes.
And
but it's an interesting point that you make. I remember we did a signing session one of the first times that we came over to Oz, and there were some very interesting people, but there was a lot of gothic people kind of there, And this one girl came along, and she had the whitest hair imaginable, and the palest palette that you've ever seen. And we were there in our shorts, signing away and everything, and going, you should really get some sun, you don't look too healthy. And she said, well, the sun doesn't go with the clothes I wear. We completely stumped us. We were totally speechless,
It's so true. I saw probably one of the weirdest things the other night. I was at hosting a stand-up comedy night, and one of the acts was called Placebo, and it was Placido they called themselves, and they were somebody doing opera-style songs, but doing placebo covers. So
really?
they were doing your songs, but in a sort of three tenors style. At this stand-up comedy night.
I'll see you at the bitter end. Yeah. That sort of stuff.
Yeah, very much. A friend with weed is a friend indeed. And all this sort of stuff. What's the weirdest context you've ever heard one of your songs in or seen one of your songs performed in?
Well, it's interesting you should say that, because we got hold of a reggae version of Pure Morning straight out of Jamaica, which is really fun, about, when it first came out. Because there's bands in Jamaica, they just cover every song that's kind of successful, And so Pure Morning got the reggae treatment. Now, I'm a huge reggae fan, so that was very heartwarming for me.
So that's when you can kick back with your jazz cigarette.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And taking a bit of Placebo on the steel drums. Is there if we were to see Placebo the opera or Placebo the musical, who would play Brian?
It would probably be as dysfunctional as Jerry Springer the musical, the opera. Has that hit your shores yet?
We've heard
it's a mix between Jerry Springer the opera and Puppetry of the Penis.
Who would you get to play? Who would you get to play you, Brian?
Audrey Hepburn.
Okay. We have the technology.
That's good. Probably not a lot of dancing numbers, but we can make that work. Is there a weird place you've ever heard?
All that says, wouldn't it be lovely? And then we'd be fine.
Sometimes we talk to bands and they talk about the weirdest place they've heard their song. Like, we were talking to the Dandy Warhols and they were saying it was very weird. They were in a strip club and one of the girls was stripping to Bohemian Like You. Have you ever heard your song in, just a place where you just go, I can't believe our song's being played here?
I don't know. It's I'm still waiting for that moment. I once heard Bono talk about With or Without You and walking into a hotel bar and the pianist is playing it, kind of thing. So I'm still waiting for that. Still have to write that song, where it gets played in hotel bars around the world, And I think that would be very interesting one day, after a show, to walk into the hotel bar and they're playing, God knows, I don't know.
Or if you're riding in a lift and you just find yourself tapping the foot, thinking, I've heard that music somewhere before.
Else,
And
Yeah,
it's a
you're
beautiful
on-
arrangement at the bitter end.
Yeah, you're on the phone to your bank and they're like, please hold. And you just hear the first bars of a special K.
Exactly.
Now, you're also bringing...
Exactly. Other tax people call you up, you know, and then they put you on hold, and it's your own music, you know.
you
Then you feel like they're really taking the piss, you know.
You're bringing out Elbow with you. What can we expect from Elbow?
Oh, they're a fantastic band. I've been a huge fan of Elbows for a long time, since The Sleep in the Back, the first album. They're great, you know. What can I say? I mean, it's quite cinematic. It's very emotional, and it's right up our strata. You know, it's one of the best British bands of recent times. I think we're very, very happy to have them. We always it's important for us to tour with bands that we enjoy listening to. You know, because it's part of the warming up process. You know, I always like to watch the opening band. It gets you in the mood. You know, you have a couple of drinks while you watch them. You get up there. If they're particularly good, like Elbow are, then they try and give you a run for your money. So it makes you, you know, push yourself even further. You know, which is a good thing.
Well, you did say you were doing...
Obviously, you always look for people that you get on with as well, because there's nothing worse than being stuck on the road with people that you dislike. You know.
And the great thing is, you did say this is a comprehensive tour. You start in Western Australia, you go to then you go to Adelaide, you go to Melbourne, you go to New South Wales, you're up to Brisbane. But what I've noticed, they've sent us the dates, and I know this probably has nothing to do with you guys at all, but the show in Perth is about $4 less than any of the other shows on the rest of the tour.
Nice.
Now, does that mean in Perth you're going to do just not quite as good a show as a performance because they've played a little bit less?
No, it probably means that we're getting paid less for the show in Perth. Realistically speaking.
That's a couple of less jazz cigarettes before you hit the stage.
Indeed, indeed.